I'm joined by our organizational winner tonight as far as the Make a Difference Awards are concerned, and that is Rex Stump with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. First off, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You've been director of Fellowship of Christian Athletes how long now?
It's been 9 years, 9 great years.
And the region that you oversee, how big is that?
7 counties, 5 in northwest Ohio here and 2 in southern Michigan.
Am I too literal if I associate Fellowship of Christian Athletes as using athletics to spread the word of Jesus Christ?
You're right on the dot. That's it right there. We are definitely trying to impact athletes and coaches and all whom they influence with the gospel of Christ. They have a huge platform. And you'll hear that when you see guys like Drew Brees or Albert Pujols, or Tim Tebow's probably the most famous that gets out there in the media, but they're all part of FCA as well.
Rex, I can imagine that a lot of young men out there that get involved, and young women for that matter, this could be the first introduction really to Jesus in their life when they come to FCA.
Oh, it happens all the time. But through our camps, through team times, we get to work with a lot of teams. There's so many local schools that have us come in and work with them once a week at their practices. And they get introduced to what we're talking about, and then they end up coming to a campus meeting and they find out more, and they find Christ there, and it's incredible.
I can imagine this day more than ever that a lot of parents are looking for some help in raising their kids. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a great outlet.
Yeah, you see what's going on in the school. There's always negative things going on, and what do we need, a gun law? Do we need this policy? And they're always looking for something, and the problem is in the core right here, and we have that answer. And it's nothing new as far as policy needed, it's Christ needed, and we get to take that right there into the school, into our mission.
How does participation start? Is it through you guys going into the schools? Is it your invite, or do you wait for that phone to ring with somebody saying we need some help?
9 years ago, I tried to go in because I was formerly a volleyball coach in Waseon for 14 years, so I knew a lot of coaches, so I thought, well, I'll just go around and knock on doors and get people going, and it didn't happen. Basically, God opened doors, and then people started calling us. And as one school started FCA, they got fired up, and then a local school got fired up, and we actually had one school in the NWOL league say, hey, we're the only school without FCA. We got to get this going, And it got started that way, but in the end, that's one of the biggest schools now participating in FCA.
That's got to be the kind of infectious that you want to see more people getting involved. This honor tonight, you have to be honored to accept this.
Yes, oh, absolutely. I had no idea about it when I got the phone call. It was a great surprise, and I never think about wonder what award we can get for making a difference in the lives of people. We just do this because we know it's our calling, it's our serving, it's our mission, and we don't expect a pat on the back. But when you do get a pat on the back, it's nice.
Our organizational winner tonight of the Making a Difference Award, well deserved to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
FCA's been around since 1954, but that was out west, more prevalent down south, and then about 20 years ago in northwest Ohio they started an office.
I get to combine two of my passions. I get to combine sports, and I get to combine the message of Jesus Christ.
It does filter in, and I know that FCA is making a huge impact in Bryan, like all the other schools.
As a board member, when you hear a story of teams praying after the game, that's not in the news.
Yes, our mission is to impact athletes and coaches with the gospel of Jesus Christ and all whom they influence. That's our mission and vision. We present that to athletes and coaches. We present to them the adventure and the challenge of receiving Jesus Christ.
Anymore, a coach doesn't just teach basketball, football, track, whatever. They really teach life skills that, if taught well, can change a kid's life.
A couple weeks ago, we just had FCA for 5th and 6th grade, and we talked about love, hope, and faith, and we were talking about faith. But I give them a piece of candy with a heart from Valentine every time we come, and I give them one for themselves and one for somebody else, and they're to give it to somebody. And somebody came up to me and said, somebody gave me this and told me that they really care about me.
There's a lot of great organizations out there. I've been a part of a few, but this one, I believe we're set apart because we really have a focus on who we want to reach and how we want to reach them. And I think because our vision and mission is pretty clear cut, we know we want to impact coaches and athletes. And we know that they have an incredible influence on so many people. So if we can really focus on the coaches and the athletes and all whom they influence, that really narrows it down. And it's a great combination of taking your faith, your foundation for who you are, and your passion for your your abilities that God's given you, which is sports and competition.
Where in this area is there anything for coaches that really give them tools? Nothing really. And FCA's there. We're here. We're here to help them.
I've seen that impact in a couple of the coaches I work with. They've really have dug deeper. They've really ripped apart why they coach and how they coach, and I've seen them change the way they coach, and it's been a good thing.
Kids are competitive, whether it's a sport or to be the first one in lunch line. They're competitive. So the message and the focus for what we have really sets it apart from other things that we've been involved in. Kids meet before school or after school. We have to meet during a non-academic hour to make sure we're within the rights of the students' rights in the school, the separation of church and state, which everybody always talks about. So we meet during a non-academic hour.
The only thing that pretty much the adults do, so we're there, the kids run it. It's totally student run. They come with a message every week. Someone volunteers.
They want to learn. They want to win. And they don't just want to win on the field. They want to win in life too. They just don't know it yet.
Because quite honestly, most of our kids in Northwest Ohio aren't going to go on to be professional athletes. They're not going to probably even go on to D2 or D1 college. But those skills they learn there, they can use throughout their life. If they learn how to deal with anger, if they learn how to deal with, life issues at that time, they're going to be much better off when they get to the workplace, when they get to college, when they, ultimately have to have families and life themselves.
This is going to be dangerous. You put me behind a microphone here with the time limit, but I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. You see rock stars and athletes and all those movie stars, they'll get up in front, they get their award, and they hold it up high, and they say, I want to thank God, and they sort of ramble on from there, but I truly want to say this. Thank you, God, for the opportunity that we get to do this. This isn't a me thing, this isn't a my staff thing, this is something that God's given us, and on behalf of the Buckeye Border FCA office, my wife, Jenny, who's our office administrator, Dan Van Dock, Josh Erd, Rick Straley, we want to say thank you. What a privilege, what an honor to receive this award, and so we want to say thank you back to you for the nomination for receiving this award. It really is a privilege, but it's also a calling to serve our God, and as we desire to impact lives for eternity in Northwest Ohio and Southern Michigan, we truly want to make a difference. And so it's a blessing for us to be able to do this. 9 years now we've been doing this, and we started with just 3 schools. And and I guess the way it started was, I said in my heart, I want Jesus in every school. Whether it's FCA, Youth for Christ, Campus Crusade, or a church youth group, we wanted to see Jesus in every school. And as of today, in the 5 counties of Ohio, we are in every school but 2. And those 2 school systems, actually, we have people that are part of FCA. They just don't have the ministry there yet. And so we're very blessed now to be working in actually over 60 schools, working with 80 teams and about 15,000 students and coaches and athletes every year. So it's an incredible thing that we get to be a part of, and we don't do it alone. So I want to say thank you to those that aren't here, our volunteers, our student leaders, our coaches, and our huddle leaders. And we can't do this without the resources either. Matter of fact, there are some of you that are in this room that have invested financially in this ministry. We're 100% missionary. Nobody pays us except those who say, I support this ministry, and they give to our office to be able to do this. And so some of you are actually in here that are part of that, what we call our home team. So again, thank you, because we can't do it without you and the many that give to this ministry. I think about this, Tim Tebow, Drew Brees, Tamika Catchings, you name all these people, Tony Dungy, they're all part of FCA. And they're all professionals. And but you know what, in Northwest Ohio, it isn't the big names making the impact. It's a lot of those student athletes and kids that aren't even athletes that are showing up at FCA. They're impacting lives, and they're being impacted. As a matter of fact, I wish I could make a big impact on my sons. I've got 3 boys, and my youngest is here with me tonight. But it's not me that's doing that. It's other schools. As they've gone to other schools that have FCA and they see it, it comes back, and the ripple effect hits my own kids. So it's a mighty thing. I just want to close with saying this. My parents are 83 and 81. And my dad's gone through so much. Heart disease, pacemaker, he lost his fingers in a lumbar accident, had to have his big toe amputated, he's had prostate cancer, and recently he's had now cancer in his lower back. And at Christmas he started chemotherapy, and it's really changed his life and all of our lives. But in February, my mom, I think being a full-time nurse to my dad, took its toll on my mom, and she went into the hospital with a possible stroke. I went to visit and spend time with them, and I took my dad on Valentine's Day. This all happened on Valentine's Day. The day after, I took my dad up to the hospital to see my mom. And he got out of the wheelchair and went and sat on the chair, still weak from his chemo, and he looked over at my mom. Now again, 83 and 81. He looks over at my mom laying there in the bed and just smiles at her and says, "Hi, honey, love you." And then he gets up out of his chair and walks over to the bed and leans over and just plants a big kiss on her. And he sat back down and he said, "That was better than thinking about it." And I love it. That just kept ringing through my mind. It's better than thinking about it. And let me tell you something. Making a difference in the lives of young people, you got to do it. You just can't think about it. This is better than thinking about it. Doing it. Colossians 3:23. And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. Thank you so much.